Child, it is a lot going on. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sweet Spot Mindset. On this channel, I talk about a lot of things, all things manifestation, quantum physics. We even get into how to manifest things in an effortless way using quantum physics, of course, and also law of assumption, law of attraction, all types of spiritual laws that are going to help you to stay in alignment with your wish fulfilled. I also talk about entrepreneurship here as a spiritual person or heart-based entrepreneur. I really feel like it's important in this day and age to share content for those of us who are spiritual people looking to monetize those things that we naturally have been blessed with. So if you're a light worker, if you want to be a coach, if you like holistic therapy, if you're looking to be a content creator and you're doing it under the energy of spirituality or even just heart-based entrepreneurship, then you're going to want to stay on this channel, because I really would love to give you some gems on how I was able to transition from a really stressful work life, working a 9 to 5, working a traditional job, and being able to transition very effortlessly into making 6 figures on my own terms using just my spiritual gifts, like the gift of clairvoyance, or the gift of clairaudience, or being able to speak to people, being able to heal people with touch if you're a massage therapist. These are all spiritual gifts that I truly believe that were given to you to not only help people, but also to monetize those gifts in some type of way. And so, yeah, this channel is definitely going to delve into that in the near future. But today, we are talking about parallel timelines and shifting into your desired reality. Okay. Instant manifestations are real. And so some of the things I want to share with you today are really about things that a lot of people find difficult to understand. However, I'm going to simplify it so that it can be digested in a very easy way. If you know this stuff that I'm teaching you today, this is actually going to help you to start to see things come into your life a lot easier. Quantum physics really gets a bad rap because it seems like it's very sciencey. And quantum physics is really not that difficult to know. It's really the science of understanding you as an energetic being and your connection to things outside of what you can see. That's it. Your connection to what you can't see outside of you. So there are things that are going on that we can't see, but energetically we are connected to. That's quantum physics in a nutshell. All right, let's get into also today, and I want to mention Cassie and Diddy because I've been thinking about Cassie a lot lately. I've been thinking about how she can shift her timeline. That's just the psychic in me. That's just the energetic pull that I've gotten from this whole Diddy and Cassie thing, is that there is something that she did within her timeline to shift to what she's experiencing now. So I'm going to explore that a little bit, just to give you guys some interesting insights on something that's going on in the world of entertainment. And we're also going to talk about the number one thing that is stopping you from shifting in your mind and in your imagination. All right, so let's just get into the topics. And thank you for everyone who is here listening. If you are not subscribed to the channel, just make sure that you are subscribed, because we talk about stuff like this all the time over here. Number one thing I want to go over is, what are parallel realities or a parallel universe? So basically, a parallel universe, also known as an alternate universe, parallel world, parallel dimension, alternate reality, or alternate dimension, is a hypothetical self-contained layer or plane of existence. Long story short, it just means that there are multiple realities, multiple decisions, multiple paths that all exist in past, present, and future. So you can literally perceive things a certain way, and then in the blink of an eye, you can perceive it a different way. Case in point, whenever you experience deja vu is not a coincidence. Deja vu is not something that, oh, did this happen already? No, the reason why you're feeling deja vu is because in a blink of an eye, you shifted to a reality where you recognize that you already experienced it. Think about what I'm saying. If you get that feeling of did this already happen, it means you shifted into a reality where you remember it happening. So it's like it already happened. You just shifted to remember that it already happened. It's like Neville Goddard's I Remember When. And what he's really teaching us is I remember when I did XYZ. The thing that you'd like to experience, case in point, let's just say you'd like to experience going on a vacation to Italy. If you were to use Neville Goddard's I Remember When, it would be, I remember when I went to Italy and we had such an amazing time. I got to eat amazing food. I met some of the locals. We danced the night away. Even though in your 3D that didn't happen, when you say I remember when something happened, you're basically meshing time and space. You're absolutely meshing your 3D with your 4D, your imagination. So you're saying to yourself, I remember when something happened, because in your imagination, it already did happen if you're creating it. So deja vu, there are no coincidences when it comes to the things that you feel that you may have experienced already. It's because you did in a different parallel reality. Y'all with me? Are y'all with me? Let me share my screen. I want to share with you guys. If I'm not explaining it in a efficient way, then let me share some things with you guys that I found. All right. Oh, okay. I was like, what is going on here? I see what I'm doing. So I'm sharing the wrong tab. Let's share this one. There we go.
Quantum mechanics tells us time is made of tiny particles, not a continuous flow. What if our universe is a projection of a singular moment? A captivating concept that challenges the very fabric of reality. Could we shape time according to our needs? Discover the universe's secrets in our full video on our channel. Embark on a journey to explore the mysteries of time. Stay curious. Have you ever questioned the nature of time? Is time just an illusion? In the world of physics, time isn't what you think. Time takes on a mind-bending form. Time is anything but linear. The James Webb Telescope is reshaping our understanding of the cosmos. Telescopes show us the past, revealing galaxies from billions of years ago. Quantum mechanics tells us time is made of tiny particles, not a continuous flow.
See?
What if our universe is a projection of a singular moment? A captivating concept that challenges the very fabric of reality.
Now, I played it again so that you guys can see that it's not just about what you're seeing in your 3D. Also, I want to read what Einstein said about time. So basically, what Einstein was saying, and when everybody thought he was crazy, is basically the logic behind gravitational time dilation is fairly simple. Objects with a lot of mass create a strong gravitational field. This gravitational field noticeably warps the fabric of space time around these objects, producing what we know as gravity. When a stream of light particles passes by an object with sufficient gravity, the stream of photons travel at a speed of light appears to bend. All right. So even if we were to go into the science of it, when you understand that you're perceiving things in a totally different way, where you can bend your imagination, then you really don't have to worry about whether your 3D reality is too slow for you when it comes to your manifestations. All right. So basically, also what it says here is time appears to pass normally to a person in strong gravity, while a clock in weak gravity runs fast. Have you guys ever noticed when you wake up, sometimes it's like the day is going by extremely fast versus some days the time is very slow and you're like, what the hell is going on? It's because your perception of time is warped based on your perception of the things that are going on, and also too how fast things are moving around you. This is saying exactly what I've always known, is that time appears to pass normally to a person in a strong gravity, even energetically strong gravity, while a clock in weak gravity runs fast. While to the person in weak gravity, the clock appears to run normally and the clock in strong gravity runs slow. Of course, there is nothing wrong with the clocks. Time is slowing down and speeding up because of the realistic way mass warps space and time. All right. So these are just some things that I want you guys to understand when it comes to the mechanics of time and space. It seems like science to the point where you're like, oh my goodness, this is so boring. The boring stuff is actually where instant manifestations happen. Get into it. Become a person who understands how the universe works energetically. Because once you understand it, even just a small amount, you'll never ever be like, where's my manifestation? You'll know that based on your perception, things can slow up or they can speed up. Because around us right now, certain things, you go outside and you're like, what's going on around me? That tree wasn't that tall before, versus if there's something going on energetically where it's a lot slower in your life, the particles around you are moving slower, you tend to feel a little bit more relaxed about what's happening around you. Maybe it's taking too long for somebody to call you, or your job offer is taking too long for them to tell you that you're hired. That's happened to me before, where it took them 2 months to give me the paperwork, even though they told me that I was hired, versus it took a fairly quick amount of time for me to see my YouTube channel grow, because my perception of time and space was that things are moving fast. Things are moving fast. So change your wording about time. Start to tell yourself that things are moving fast for you. Things are working quickly for me. And you will start to perceive things working quickly. Energy will start to move around you a lot faster. And that will cause you to speed up time. Y'all with me? Who's in here? Atlanta Angel 84. Thank you. And Zahara 10, thank you for being here. I'm facing a challenging 3D at the moment and want to manifest money to pay my rent and steady income. Well, stick around because I'm going to give you some insights on that. All right. So now let's go to some other things that I want to share with you. We also know that time is an illusion, like I said. But also, let me tell you something else. When you are dreaming, this is a perfect example of how you can know that time is an illusion. Have you ever had a dream that's so vivid that you thought it was real? Have you ever had a dream where it felt like it was 4 hours long, but you realized you were only sleeping for 20 minutes? Or have you had the opposite, where you had a dream that felt like it was 2 minutes long, but you were sleeping for 3 hours? Have you? This goes to show you that time and space is really one and the same when it comes to your 3D versus your 4D, your 5D, and other higher consciousness. Not only that, when you're shifting parallel timelines, you can shift them fairly quickly. We shift timelines, in my honest opinion, I think hundreds of times a day. When you shift states of consciousness, which we're going to talk about with Neville, you're shifting different timelines. So if a teacher or a thought leader is teaching you about parallel universes and realities, or Neville's teaching you about states of consciousness, it's all one and the same. It's really truly your perception of what's in front of you and how you choose to interact with the things in front of you is going to be how you're going to shift. All right. And so with the dream state is what I really want to talk about very briefly is if you have ever been able to dream and lucid dream, then you know that you can literally wake up in your dreams and control what's around you in your dreams. Has anyone here ever lucid dreamed? And if you're watching this on a replay in the comments, let me know what your experiences have been about lucid dreaming. Because you can induce lucid dreaming to the point where you can go into a state of consciousness while you're sleeping, where you actually get to create a reality that is a parallel reality that you want to dwell in. And I want you to ask yourself, do you think the reality that you're living in right now is a dream? Or when you go to sleep, is that the real reality? You let me know. Is what you're seeing right now with me, is this the dream? Or when you go to sleep, is that the real reality? Do you want to know the answer? Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you what the answer is. But your dreams are a great indicator of how time and space don't exist the way that we want them to exist linear. Because in a dream, it could be a dream that feels longer, even though you've only been asleep for a short amount of time. Or it could be a dream that's shorter, even though you've been asleep the whole entire 8 hours. Right? We as waking life 3D humans define time with a clock. If we take away that clock, we only have the sun to tell us that it's day. What about people in prison who don't get to see, like if they're in solitary confinement, what happens when they don't get to see the physical representation of time? Do you know a lot of them say that they go into a mental distress because they haven't created concept of time outside of what we know with a watch or with seeing the sun. And so it's very inhumane to put people, in my opinion, in solitary confinement, because you're taking away their basic human instincts to survive. Because even though we create our reality, we have been programmed as humans to know what time and space is based on external things. And what I'm asking you to do when you watch this is to start to define what time and space means to you outside of what society tells you what time and space is, right? Let me go to some of the comments. Atlanta Angel, if you stay tuned, I'm going to answer some questions in a few. I just want to finish the presentation that I have for you guys. But thank you for being here. Kismet J says, I feel like when I wake up, like I'm coming back from another life. Yep. Because in a sense you are. It's a different reality. It's a parallel. Parallel just means like it's mirroring some form of your life, but you can have multiple versions. And the dream state is the best way for you to understand that time is an illusion. For those of you who do dream, when you wake up and you feel like things are real in your dream, it's because it was. It's just a different reality. And I know that may seem alarming if you're having bad things happen in your dream. It's okay. It's just a different state of consciousness that you're experiencing. Yeah, when we got locked down in 2020, a lot of people, their time was distorted. I remember when we were locked down, my husband and I, we because we were just in the house for a lot of those days, I'll never forget, I went to sleep and woke up and thought it was morning, but I had just taken a nap. So it was evening. It was like around 5. I woke up at like 8. But no, it must have been because the sun was still up. So maybe I went to sleep maybe I took a nap around like 4 or 5. Woke up a couple of hours later where the sun was still up. I thought it was morning. I thought it was the next day morning. I was so disoriented because when people are inside and not outside to gauge the energy of time, now your sense of what time is, basically like morning and night, is kind of warped. So yes, the lockdown definitely threw us all off track with time, because a lot of us were inside and the days turned into nights. I was like, what's today's date? We just didn't know what the date was. Some of us didn't know what like time of day it was, because when we are outside and we're able to interact consistently, we define time. But when you're secluded in your own imagination, you also get to define time as well, right? Yeah, oh Yemi, you're like my husband. My husband stayed outside during the lockdown too. I mean, we lived near a park, so we were able to be outside and get fresh air without anybody bothering us. Yep. So the lockdown for us was just like, okay, reset, basically. Now I want to go into, and thank you for the 10 people that are here. If you're from Fly Girl, I was about to say my old name. If you're from Fly Girl Manifested, the channel, please subscribe to the Sweet Spot Mindset channel, because you're gonna like it over here. We're over here doing beautiful things, deep diving into the boring stuff, quote unquote, but it's not gonna be boring when I teach it to you, because it's gonna be relatable, right? So let's go into, I want to share some other stuff with you. We're still gonna talk about Cassie and Diddy. We definitely gonna talk about Cassie and Diddy, because I want to do a video on my other channel, my main channel, Fly Girl Manifested. I have to remember to say the new name, about her revision story. I feel like Cassie could revise her situation moving forward, because God knows just everything that's happening for her. My heart goes out to that woman. But if she's a spiritual person and she understands how revision works, then she's gonna be all right. But we're gonna talk about her in a different capacity today, to bring some relevancy to the topic. Nikki Gill says, "Hey Danny, I'm loving the sweet spot, and it's only been like 2 days. Yay! Thank you for joining." Okay, so what's next? Do you guys want to know how to lucid dream? Because remember, the topic of this whole video and broadcast is a deep dive into parallel timelines and shifting into your desired reality. So lucid dreaming, believe it or not, like I just mentioned, is something that you can cultivate. Where's my pillow? I have a pillow here. Y'all know I love me a good pillow now. The pillow is signal for SAT, state akin to sleep. Pillow means relaxation. Program your mind for your pillow to mean. And by the way, you guys know I love earth tone colors. So you see how in our house here, the other room is purple and pink for like my work area. And the rest of the house is like earth tones. I'm a Libra. I was born in October. So everything that I wear is usually earth tones and Halloween type colors. Purple, black, orange, stuff like that. Fall colors. So that's why I always have these type of colors. Pillow equals relaxation subconsciously. So always get yourself a pillow. Let me show you guys how to lucid dream. Okay, first and foremost, what you're going to do is set an intention that you're falling asleep, but you're gonna wake yourself up. So you're gonna fall. You as you're falling asleep, you can induce lucid dreaming like this. So let's say you're super drowsy and you're getting ready to go to sleep, and before you doze off, just wake yourself up. Okay? I know you're so tired. You're so tired. You're so tired. Your eyes are heavy. Lay your head down on the pillow, and as soon as you think you're getting ready to fall asleep, wake yourself up. If you can't do this manually, meaning yourself, set a timer for every 2 minutes to go off to wake yourself up. Do this 4 times. Because you're inducing now, you're interrupting the REM. You're going to go into REM. You're interrupting it. So basically, you lay yourself again. This is the 3rd time. As soon as you feel you're falling asleep, wake yourself up. Now, the 4th time you do this, okay, what you're going to do the 4th time, you're not going to wake yourself up. You're going to allow yourself to fall asleep. And by that time, your body is interrupted. The sleep pattern is interrupted. But as you now fall asleep, your mind's going to stay awake. Your body's going to go to sleep. Don't be afraid. In some form or fashion, we used to call this sleep paralysis or the devil riding your back. These are just like weird like things that we used to associate when your brain is up and your body is asleep. It's called sleep paralysis for some people, but we're inducing lucid dreaming. So what's going to happen is that you're going to fall asleep after the 3rd time of waking yourself up. The 4th time, you're not going to do it. You're going to fall asleep. What's going to happen is that you're going to go into a sleep state. Your brain is going to be up. Your body is going to be asleep. And that's when you're going to be able to move around in the scenarios in your dream. You got to test this for yourself. Make time to be super sleepy. Stay up all day. Tire yourself out. And test this. And what's going to happen the next day is when you wake up, you're going to not be able to distinguish whether that lucid dream was real or fake. Which brings me to my next point. Is the number one thing that's stopping you from shifting into your desired reality is the subconscious mind does not know what is real and what's fake. Okay? The truth of the matter is that when you are imagining things in a deep, relaxed state, the subconscious mind believes that to be real, not fake. So how can we induce a relaxed state? Practice. Make time in the morning or at night. No excuses. If you got to go in the closet, if you have children, if you got to say, hey, I'm going downstairs and just go in the closet and sleep in the closet, if you have to go in your car and put down the shutters, this is the thing that I feel like people do not cultivate in their spiritual life is the art of shutting down your 3D senses and going into an imaginative state of relaxation. Can you induce relaxation instantly? I can. It's practice. But if you can induce it to where I can lay back in right here and in the next 5 minutes, I will be in a state of calmness. And I can start to create scenarios in my mind in a relaxed state. I can do that. I want you to do that for you because a lot of you guys live in the 3D. When the only reality that matters is the one in your imagination. Your imagination is a parallel reality. So even though we have multiple ones, how about we just start to live in the second reality that we can actually know that we're creating. So I want you to think about parallel realities that you're shifting your state of consciousness all day, every day. But think about the one thing that you can control with shifting into a reality that's going to give you instant manifestations very quickly is when you are drifting away to sleep, or when you're in meditation. Or even if you're not in meditation, just take maybe 5 minutes to quiet your mind and sit in silence. Tire yourself out. And when you're super tired, when you're super drowsy, this is going to be your power to shift into a timeline where you are living in your desired reality. All right? That is really just the gist of what it means to shift. We do have some other things that I want to talk about, because I do want to talk about Cassie. I'm going to definitely get into what I feel is working for her, and what I feel, if I were her spiritual mentor, what I would mentor her to do, like what I would teach her, what I would offer her as a spiritual person. Because I don't know how spiritual she is. However, I see her situation in a way that most people do not. I see some things about the, like, how the media is spinning things, or the narratives or the stories that have been told. You know, I am a 90s kid. I know a lot of the history that a lot of people don't know because we have social media. I was in that whole era of like 90s hip hop and R&B before there was social media, when you had to actually read, like, write on magazine, or when you had to actually listen to the radio station to get the interviews, when you had to hear the rumors through publications, or if you knew somebody who knew somebody who knew the particular celebrity, then you heard things. So I have a different energetic connection to the 90s side of hip hop and R&B, and I understand spiritually what we're getting from this whole thing, right? So that's just to give you some background. Can I go into some of the comments and see what you guys are talking about? Atlanta Angel says, right. You telling your age, girl. Sister to Sister magazine had all the exclusives. Right On, Word Up. Yeah. Right? Okay, so let's not get off topic. Can I just go over one last thing with you guys before we go into the Cassie and Diddy talk? Because this is something that I truly believe that will inspire people who, when you're listening to things online and when you're engaging yourself with a certain like reality, you have to still decide what timeline you're going to be on. So are you on the timeline of gossip, consistently saturating yourself with things that are low vibrational, or are you on the timeline of, even if that comes across my day, how am I going to learn the lesson from the things that I'm watching? So the timeline that you're on is, I'm a spiritual person first, not just a bottom feeder, just allowing any and everything to enter into my psyche. So this is how I was able to listen to the stuff that's going on and actually gain insights from it. We're going to talk about real quick states of consciousness as told by Neville. And I just want to share with you guys what Neville says about awareness and states of being and consciousness. So what he says is that you are an infinite being experiencing a contradiction called physical reality. Right. Meaning that you are beyond the 3D. The contradiction is that you're in a physical reality when you should be operating on your higher plane. Right? I love that. Quantum physics states matter as we know it. The child, I'm reading something, so it's not me, it's the person who wrote this, but I love the way that they stated it. So let's start over. Quantum physics states matter as we know it does not exist as a solid object, but on the subatomic level, it is waves of probability that collapse into particles when a conscious observer observes it. So, who is the conscious observer? Basically, the observer dictates what happens to the thing in front of them. That's what that means. Your awareness of being, your I amness, is what we're talking about. The reality you are experiencing at any moment corresponds exactly to what you truly expect it to be through feeling, and not necessarily to what you desire it to be or even what you think it should be. Now, with feeling something, that's how we get, oh, I got a bad vibe from that person. Or, oh, something feels fishy about this. Something seems fishy. So that's what we're talking about when it comes to being aware of who you are and how you feel about things. So also too, it says here, you have thoughts and feelings. Your current dwelling state is where both brain and heart are in coherence, meaning your thought and feeling are not contradicting each other, and you stay in this state as long as this coherence exists. That's all I need to say, because when you stay in alignment with the things that you desire to have, just know that if your heart is telling you to do something, align your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions with what your heart is telling you to do, and you will start to see things instantly collapse. All of a sudden, the SP that you thought was dragging their feet will conform to your reality, for a better word. I hate using the word conform, but that's what you guys understand. People in your life will start to show up the way that you expect them to show up when you align your energetic field, your heart, what you desire to have, the state that you're in. When you align that with your thoughts, your feelings, and what you're saying to yourself all day, every day, you will start to experience the reality that you desire to have. You will shift into the reality that you desire to have, right? Okay, so now that we know that, let's go into what I feel about, can Cassie shift into a parallel reality? Cassie has shifted many, many, many times. I think she shifted probably like 1,000 times. I mean, you can shift as many times as you want to, but unbeknownst to her, I feel like she shifted at least 1,000 times from the time that she experienced this interaction with Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, when she was only 19. And by the way, I do have a friend that went to high school with Cassie. And in college, all she spoke about was how beautiful and how good of a person Cassie was. Like when she first started to get some traction with Just Me and You, the song. And having a friend that knows her and hearing that she was just a nice person, unproblematic in most ways, how did she manifest or even put herself on a timeline to experience this? We don't have enough time to talk about it, but what we're going to talk about is my theory of how I feel like this happened, is that when you're shifting timelines, your awareness of what's going on around you is dictating the timeline. So from the very beginning, the awareness was, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get this shmoney and to get this career popping. Instead of interrupting when she felt uncomfortable, she allowed herself to stay in a reality. She did not shift. She stayed in a reality, allowed her reality to dictate to her what she was doing versus saying, no, I don't want to do that. No, I'm going to shift somewhere else. I'm going to be somewhere else. If she had chosen to work with someone else in the beginning of her career, we would not be here at all. And you only know to do that when you have a clear understanding of who you are and how spiritual laws work and how your mind works. What I would tell each and every one of you, if you have a child that's a young person, like like a child that is, what am I saying? If you have a young child, and if you have a child that's a young adult, meaning that you may have a teenager or somebody that's going into young adulthood, if they don't know this, please teach them this now, that you are creating your reality based on what you allow people to infiltrate in your 3D. Why wasn't there a no, this doesn't feel good? No. This is not victim blaming her. I'm just saying, like, what overrode her intuition to immediately recognize something that didn't feel good? And when she decided to stay in that reality, then everything around her just started to morph into different things. So my hypothesis, or my line of thinking is, what if she had chosen to work with like Ryan Leslie instead of Diddy? What if she had chosen to work with other people? What if she had chosen that, you know what, I'm not going to do these things to get my career popping? That woman would have been in a completely different reality, completely different. And so, unbeknownst to her, she just did what she thought was best. But this is an important lesson, in my opinion, on how choosing your reality does matter. Because right now, she can choose a reality as well. After all the things that have happened to her, right now she can choose the reality of peace, calmness. I'm not listening to anything that anyone is saying. I'm not interacting with anyone. She can choose her reality. And I think she has chosen the reality of, I got my coin, I got my retribution, I got the things that were owed to me. I got my therapy, I got my healing, I have my family. Despite my circumstances, the reality that I'm choosing to live in is one of therapy, peace, calmness, and family. From 15 years ago to now, how many universes and parallel universes did she choose to be in? God knows. But the good thing is that she can shift into her desired reality right now by choosing what she wants to experience. You guys understand where I'm coming from? Despite her circumstances, how horrific they were, she still gets to choose a parallel reality where she gets to enjoy her life moving forward as best as she can, with peace, with therapy, with family. If she had still chosen to stay in the old reality with an abuser, she would still be experiencing what she's experiencing. So this is how we choose realities. Which one do you want to be in? Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. Like, she tried to shift her reality many times. And I think what happened is that when we desire to shift a reality and it doesn't happen the way we want it to, then we shift into the old story. This is why I love Neville Goddard's teaching. This is why I love the law of assumption, is because I love the premise of knowing that you get to decide the narrative of your story, which is the same thing as changing how you see things around you and defining what you want to see. You get to change how people treat you. You get to change how people show up for you. You get to change that. That starts in your imagination. That's where it starts. The parallel realities that you are looking to shift into in different timelines starts in your imagination. And instant manifestations happen when you release and let go of the things in your 3D that do not serve you. So if you see something in front of you and it's like you hate it, or it's making you feel icky, it's making you feel low vibrational, when you release that and let it go, you elevate into an instant manifestation. Cassie's instant manifestation was the settlement. When she decided that no, this is who I am. This is my standard. It's this. This is what I'm accepting. I'm not accepting anything outside of this. Who settled less than 2 days later? That's an instant manifestation. Instant manifestations literally can happen within like a short amount of time. I would say instant manifestation time frame is like within a day. Hers happened within a day and a half. That's an instant manifestation. Because from what I hear is that she had been trying to settle with him for months. But when she made a decision that no, this is my new reality, this is actually what it's going to be because this is what I deserve, this is who I am, when her self-concept was just like, no, you've done enough, I've experienced enough, you know what you did wrong, my team is telling you that this is what we want, we're not wavering. And we also have things here that you've done that if you don't do what I want you to do, they're going to be exposed. So she had leverage, she had confidence, she had vision, and she understood that she is now experiencing a desired reality where what I say goes in my reality. I tell you guys to do this all the time. What I say goes in my reality. Instant manifestation. The next day, that settlement was instant because she released and let go of the old story of maybe this will happen or we got to go. No, she was like, no. And how do I know this? Energetically, I know that when people say enough is enough, I put my foot down. This is what I have. This is my standard. Take it or leave it. The universe conspires in your benefit to move mountains for you to get the thing that you know you deserve to have. If you know in your heart you deserve to have something, 100,000 people will move for you to have that thing. This is in one of Neville's lectures. It's actually, he says 1,000 people will move for you to have the thing that you are calling into your life when you make the decision that it's yours. When you know that you deserve something, when you know that it's yours, 1,000 people or more will move for that thing to happen for you. And it just is what it is. She could have manifested that money a different way, but a consequence of the money that she got was from her stepping into her desired reality, which is that this is what I deserve to have, and this is what I'm going to get. And that's what she got. You cannot tell me energetically that Cassie didn't call in what she got compensated for because of her belief that she deserved it. She truly believed that for all the things she went through, she deserved to have at least monetary compensation. And I'm not opposed to that at all. High seeded fruit. Okay, so if you guys want to understand how to shift into your parallel timelines, just know that it starts in your imagination. Choose the reality that you want to be in by becoming aware of what's going on in your everyday life. Right now, are you looking at the screen? Are you dozing off? Are you daydreaming while my voice is in the back? Or are you aware of what's being said? Bring yourself to awareness. Listen to the sound of my voice. Focus on the sound of my voice. Become very aware. That's how you project yourself into the desired timeline, by becoming aware. Are you listening to something on television while you're multitasking and doing other stuff? That's not awareness. Awareness is focusing on the thing that's in front of you and deciding, do I choose this right now? Do I choose anger? Do I choose despair? Or do I choose a timeline where my day is going great? My clients are booking with me, or my coworkers are treating me great. I just got a raise. You become aware and choose the timeline. You become aware. And to induce creating in your 4D reality, I just showed you guys how to do lucid dreaming. So go back and look at this in the beginning of the video, around the 20-minute mark. You can learn how to induce lucid dreaming so that you can control your dream state, which is still a form of reality. And I'm going to also let you guys know that if you are not a member of the Sweet Spot Mindset group coaching, what are you doing? We have a beautiful 7-day mental diet reset that's coming up, where we are going to be focusing on all things self-love, self-care, self-concept, and how it corresponds with all relationships in your life. All relationships that you are developing right now have to deal with your self-concept, self-love, and how you care for yourself. And if you don't believe me, look around your life right now. How many beautiful friends do you have in your life? How many people do you have right now that absolutely pour into your life? Are you looking to manifest love? Are you looking for a specific romantic partner where things are working out amazingly for you and that person? Well, we're going to be talking about that June 1st through June 7th, 7 days of support, 7 days of lessons in a course, and we're going to have live videos. This is what we do in the group membership, the Sweet Spot membership. Right here, if you look, you can go to the link that's in the description box or that's pinned up right now in the live chat. It's $20 for the moment, but I guarantee you this price will go up to $39.99 June 2nd. It's because I've had this membership for a year and I have over 100 hours of content. I actually do answer questions in the Sweet Spot WhatsApp group. So you guys are getting mini coaching sessions with me. You have unlimited ways to reach me through email. I answer your questions. We have a good time as a support group. You cannot beat $20, baby. You're not going to find this price nowhere else on the face of the earth for the amount of knowledge that we are giving to each other and for a coach that cares. I'm sorry, you're just not going to find it. And so if you're looking to harness your self-concept, self-love, self-care, and to strengthen any relationship that you're looking to manifest to make it bigger, better, brighter, more loving, then what I would say to you is to join now, because June 1st will start. And then you can, if you want to leave 30 days later, then you can leave 30 days later. But you guys spend $20 on food, makeup, and God knows what, smoke, weed, whatever, drinks. So, for 30 days, you can join a membership for $20, and it's not going to be that anymore after June 1st. All right. So please consider doing something great for yourself. All right. So with that being said, any questions for me before I let you guys go? And thank you for the 14 people here. I know 14 people here are not from the Sweet Spot Mindset channel. If you're from Fly Girl Manifested, just subscribe to the channel. You know you're going to love it over here. 13 people, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Look down and see if you're subscribed, because we're doing deep dives over here. This channel is dedicated to literally doing the work. All right. Let me answer some questions if you guys have it in the main chat before I let you guys go. Blue Lotus, yes, it's funny how much transformation can come from disassociation. Blue Lotus, are you a moderator over here? Let me make you a moderator on my second channel. Blue Lotus. And wait, so don't leave, because I want to make you a moderator here. And then I want to make Jamila a moderator too. She's been with me for a while. All right. So Jamila and Ryan, can you guys post? Sorry, I didn't mean to say y'all government's name. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Who else is in here? All right. Thank you. Yeah, so I have you guys as moderators on my second channel. Seeded Fruit, thank you so much for being here. My dear, it's okay. Yeah, the replay will be right up. So what have you been researching? Tell us, please. What is it that you've been researching? Because I would love to know what you guys know about parallel timelines. It seems like something that people don't want to talk about, but it's really just like states of consciousness. If that makes more sense. It's really just Neville's teachings of states of being. Parallel realities is AKA states of consciousness, states that you choose. I feel like I shifted a parallel reality from when we started to now because I feel like I can see outside that the time has passed. And in my mind right now, after this, I'm going to be shifting into something else. So you tell me what you think. Yes, no worries. All right, so any questions? 11 people in here. Let me know if there are any questions. I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna talk to Brandon Oyemi. And there's another person that's trying to enter into the Sweet Spot members are backstage. So whenever you join the membership, you're basically getting access to like us talking after the live. All right. Well, you guys have a beautiful day wherever you are. And please make sure that you understand you get to decide your reality. This is your world to choose. All right. Love you much. Bye.